beat State. It was 1-0, but it was hard fought, and they felt mission completed. They just probably need to add on one more win for their resume, just to be safe, I would say, right, Kyle?
Yeah, you know, where their RPI is, we'll get into that a little bit later, but I think for sure they would not feel comfortable if the ACC tournament ended one and done.
Yeah, trying to keep that streak alive of the string of invites to the dance. And a very, unlike November night, it is toasty. People wearing shorts here. As Julian Kennedy gets the start there up front. Again, he started against NC State. They'll get the start again. Wake Forest, of course, in their all blacks, black jerseys and shorts, and Syracuse in their gray tops and orange shorts. It's like highlighters out there.
Add it to the list of things that us broadcasters complain about that no one else cares about, but it is impossible to see these numbers because they're tiny.
They are tiny. Zambrano running down against Kruger. Kruger may have not expected to, and this is not a good idea to have a turnover right there in the box. Amani Thomas may have escaped at a heart attack there.
Yeah,
for his Demon Deacons.
That was a really bad mistake and then a really good tackle to make up for it, because a shot was about to happen in a very dangerous position, and Thomas poked his foot in and got the ball. Syracuse, you know, had their hands up looking for a foul, but that was a clean tackle. This is not a good pass there, but got the ball, poked it free, and that's clean.
The Demon Deacons seem to have at least one bad turnover per match, and might as well get it over with in the early doors. Busy night in the ACC, of course. We'll try to keep you up to date on the scores around the Atlantic Coast Conference. Of course, Pitt still gets the bye, so they are just getting some rest. An update that only right now, the only score that we have to tell you is North Carolina leading Cal 1-0. So Prince and Ponza back after serving a suspension, which we mentioned against in the NC State matchup. It's been a long time since Wake Forest has played a game without either Prince and Ponza or Garrison Tubbs back there in that center line. They welcome him with open arms as Travis Smith Jr. made his way through and had the advantage, but kind of got yanked on the shoulder.
Nice cut inside. That's where pace helps. Might have been a clean touch on the ball, but maybe a shove in the back as well along with it. Hard to see from that angle with some of the players in the way, but
Michael Aqua getting the start, number 18. Well, look who's behind this set piece. He has stunned a lot of the opponents here with some great long distance shots, and Perez tried to go low left. But, of course, Hutt there to smack it away.
Yeah, and to be honest, Ty, from that distance, I mean, that's a dangerous effort. But from that distance, winning a corner is almost best-case scenario, right? It's going to be exceedingly difficult to find the back of the net from that far out. So to get a corner out of it is a win for Wake Forest.
Let's see what Wake Forest can do here on this corner. They would love to start off with the first goal of this one, and that one will roll out and another corner kick. So we'll try it on the other side.
That was awkward because it was honestly a pretty terrible delivery from the corner. As you see the shot that won that first kick. Threadgold, though, he tried to clear it at the near post and ended up serving it perfectly to the far post, right on a platter. So Wake Forest will get to do it again.
See what Flax has in store on this one. As targets in the box. Await. Umar now going to, looks like he's going to shoot out to be that short option. trying to clear out some space. This is headed back in close to the 6. Perez with a great slide tackle, all ball, and Wake Forest looking to build and looking to create and move into the final third.
Yeah, there were a lot of Wake Forest players calling for a handball on the header back into the middle. Really hard for us to see here through the bodies, but clearly a number of Wake Forest players thought that there was some kind of infraction there, but right now would have been the time for the referee to go to the monitor and take a look at it, so he's going to play on. And there has been a lot of physicality in the first couple of minutes of this game, and the referee so far has kept his whistle in his pocket.
Well, the first matchup in Syracuse, Wake Forest trailed 1-0. Not for long. That kind of woke them up, and they scored 2 goals in like 5 minutes. And they took what looked to be an easy 3 points for Syracuse. They took the 3 points and were pumped on the way back home. Just because, again, that says a lot about the ACC. Okay, Syracuse may not have quite the record that we've seen from the Orange, but they play the #1 team and blank them 2-0. Anytime Coach McIntyre has a crew on the pitch, they're dangerous. They can beat anybody, any night, just like Wake Forest.
Yeah, the ref is establishing early tonight, too, that he's going to let him play. A lot of physicality in some of these 50-50 challenges, but he has let almost all of them go so far.
Back to Amari Thomas. He'll slide it over to Prince Mpanza. Travis Smith Jr., who's played center back and outside back. He just goes where Coach Buse says he needs to be. Tonight, he will take over the left back duties. Umar got the only goal in that contest against NC State. It was an awkward kind of pinging around the box and then poke it through. Actually, that was a second try. And finally was able to get it past the keeper. And that was all it took for Wake Forest to take down NC State. Kruger trying to insert it to Kennedy. And Umar may have not had his blindside looked at because he got...
Yeah, I think he got stepped on here at the end. That was really strong play from Bassett Umar to maintain possession. You were right, Ty. He got his pocket picked a little bit there and somehow 1-on-2 managed to keep the ball enough, went to ground, maintained possession, and I think got stepped on at the very end. Take a look here. So he goes to ground, wins the ball, and then right there, ouch, steps right on his ankle.
Well, good news is he's up. I wouldn't be up.
Yeah. Normally I would say, Ty, that's a yellow card worthy tackle, but this early and in this environment that the referee has clearly established, it's right on par with what we've seen so far. So consistency from the official.
And Ponza working the left channel to Travis Smith Jr. Inserted again with Kennedy. They have done really well of keeping Kennedy with his back to goal. There's Perez now scanning.
You're absolutely right, Ty. I've noticed that it's not just Kennedy. A number of Wake Forest players, almost like that's what they're trying to do is in terms of a tactical approach to this game, is they want to get attackers on the ball with their back to goal and then play runners off their shoulder.
Monty Thomas didn't really stick that first touch, but still kept it in the neighborhood. That's been our key phrase this year, right? Is the first touch, crucial first touch.
Yep.
But Monty also has the speed that if he hits it just a little too heavy, he can recover it. Watch this fight as Amari Thomas gets whistled. A foul on Zambrano. Zambrano, one of the many transfers this season, coming in for Coach McIntyre. Did not play in that first match against Wake Forest. There's Threadgold. Guess his eye was looking maybe from Cutler to Jesus, but not quite on the same page. Kruger, the freshman, has definitely earned his spot. One of the many fresh faces coming into this season for the Demon Deacons, along with Amani Thomas. Borso's another freshman, and he had a sensational game against Syracuse on the road back in late September. Kennedy having to move all the way to the left side, had the ball taken away. Did have some options coming in to the 18. And now Syracuse wants to quickly get up. The overlap done perfectly. And the left foot cross just a little too close to Trace Alford.
Right now, Syracuse just has not had the ability to get numbers forward when they get on the ball. That's what's so dangerous about Wake Forest, is their ability to defend and then end up in the attacking third on the counter with numbers to support. Syracuse just hasn't had that so far today.
Borso lucky to get that one through to Flax, and Flax is upended, and they say play on.
Nope, nothing in that.
John McCloskey is the center ref. Jude Carr, Justin Howard, also the officials tonight. Say now Kruger scanning if he's allowed the space, trying to keep it at his feet. In work, the switch. Played nicely as Borso collects. Won't go forward, plays it back to his support with Prince and Ponza. And Ponza thought about the long ball, played the square ball.
Wake Forest very happy to keep possession so far tonight, bleed the game dry.
Left-footed clip that may result into a positive result for Wake Forest. Oh, Cooper Flax had himself a gift, but just couldn't quite get a foot on it.
What a missed opportunity for Wake Forest. That is a huge mistake at the back by Syracuse. It's just miscommunication. The goalkeeper's out to collect that and could have grabbed it easily, but the defender didn't know he was there. Has to call that if you're the goalkeeper. The defender heads it. I mean, free net.
Yeah.
And the only thing there is that Flax rushed it because he knew the goalkeeper was recovering, and with the ball coming straight down vertically, couldn't get the touch.
Kind of surprised him, just like it surprised us. It's Thomas keeping it from going past the byline. Great touch there, settling it. Syracuse on the side of the boot to make the switch over here to Threadgold. Here's Threadgold again. Coming to was Zambrano. Zambrano had it taken away by Cooper Flax. Cooper Flax has those long legs, almost like throwing a fishing rod out there to try to get these balls that are taken away by the opponent. The Gingen pressing worked well as the Deacons quickly get things started again. It's Travis Smith Jr. Thomas creeping here on this far side. A little one touch to Kennedy. Flag stays down, and now it goes up. It'll be a goal kick. That looked very promising. Kyle, maybe we'll look at that a little bit later, but here's the first meeting between these two. Sam Layton, his only goal of the season. Syracuse, they looked as if they were poised to take those 3 points because Wake Forest has never beaten them on the road. So they responded quickly, and Bassett Umar and Borso combined for their first career goals to win 2-1. You see, Tomas Hutt also had a career high, just like every other keeper has had career highs against Wake Forest.
Yeah, and that's happened a few times against Syracuse this season, is a late comeback, and it's something that Coach McIntyre has tried to stamp out this year. It's just a team that is a bit patchwork, and that's always the case for Syracuse. It's not necessarily a negative for Coach McIntyre. He's used to coaching a team that, may be a bit of a wonky profile roster-wise, if you will, but this season has just been a little bit of a lack of chemistry, and usually that will manifest in the attacking third, but sometimes at the end of games too.
And a well-played ball that results in an orange goal, and they quickly go ahead. Goal by Threadgold, who somehow slipped around. It was a beautiful played ball in the orange. On top, they strike first, just like they did in the first meeting.
Yeah, and that is just a case of Wake Forest getting caught with a high line and not being able to track runners back. It's a perfectly played cross. You see down here along the right side, just along the face of goal, and the defenders for Wake Forest unable to track and follow. Brilliantly done by Aqua with the cross. He puts it right on a platter, and Amani Thomas just cannot follow Threadgold, who makes a nice cut in towards the cross and gets in good body position for the finish.
Fourth goal of the season for Gabe Threadgold. And that was really a bang-bang play. Caught Wake Forest by surprise. As the native from Bremerton, Washington, gives the Cuse a 1-0 lead. They've scored now 3 unanswered after scoring 2-0 against Pitt, their last match out. Threadgold comes over from the University of Washington, where he spent 2019 to last season. He started 41 matches for the Huskies. So the question is now, how will the Demon Deacons respond? They responded well on the road. How will they respond here? You could tell Wake Forest had the same game plan that, of course, Syracuse won. They wanted to find that, to get in front of this match quickly by scoring first. Did not work out for them. And that counter and that quick ball play, which was beautifully played, and a one-touch into the back of the net, gives the Orange that 1-0 advantage. Deeks once again getting close to this final third, and a ball that's just out of the reach of Borsall. Kennedy involved in interacting there, trying to dispossess Syracuse, but called for the foul. And looks like the referee is going to take some time to talk to somebody. He's going to talk. Yeah, he's talking to Aqua. John McCloskey saw something, and rather than pull out the card, said, "I'll just give a stern warning." Michael Aqua, part of that first goal for Syracuse out of Ghana. Comes over from Lindsey Wilson College. He did not play in that Pitt matchup, the last match of the season. Deacons hunting again. Thomas was the last one on that far stick. Ball got away from him, not anywhere close. Trace Alfin. Ponza with a long ball. And very difficult to try to corral as Thomas already, what he could do, put a head on it, it's out of bounds anyway. Under 27 to go in the first half, where Syracuse has drawn first blood in round one. Michael Aqua, who did not play against Pitt, had a beautiful assist to Threadgold. 2 transfers that came in this season. See Amani Thomas trying to signal Bassett Umar to come in a little bit, but it's too late, so he pulled it and decided to recycle it around the back again.
Yeah, the spacing for Wake Forest in the attacking third has just been a little weird. Umar and Julian Kennedy have gotten in each other's way a couple times. It's been awkward. It doesn't feel like they're all in the right spot to stretch this Syracuse defense and receive the ball in space.
Syracuse doing a good job of pinging the ball around, connecting passes. Zambrano guided that one to move it over to the right channel. 25 and a half remaining in this first half. Nicole Green is also the alternate official that is on duty tonight. Both teams with 1 shot apiece. Of course, Syracuse, that 1 shot got the back of the net. That makes it 1-0. Good vision by Flax to see Amani Thomas with some acres of space. Amani Thomas will have to ad-lib himself. Thomas connection there. Once again, Colin Thomas trying to see if he played a penetrating ball to Kennedy, but decided not to. Oh, well played by Borso.
Yeah, the spacing and movement for Wake Forest just seems off in the final third.
Yeah, the rhythm.
A ball there was delivered for Julian Kennedy to come back to it, as he's done a lot this match, and he made the forward run instead.
Threadgold already with a goal. Wants to try to have an assist to his name. Placed a delivery inside of the 18. Possibly connecting and linking up. Obese. Scott hovering right there at the top of the 18. Here for Syracuse is Aqua. Why not? Second shot for the Orange so far in this first half. They lead 1-0. Aqua with the assist. Threadgold with his 4th goal of the season. And now Wake Forest is chasing this match. Syracuse did such a great job against Pitt, just disrupting their rhythm. And like you said before, Kyle, the rhythm for Wake Forest is way off too.
Yeah, and it doesn't really feel like anything special that Syracuse is doing to throw them off. It just seems like they're not in sync. They're not on the same page. It's like, you know, getting back on the pitch for the first time in the beginning of the season is to see Coach McIntyre there. You know, he's a brilliant tactician, but a better man manager, and really has this Syracuse team clicking at the end of the season, which is exactly when you want to be in your best form. But for Wake, it just seems like they're off. Guys are making runs that players with the ball aren't expecting. They're getting in each other's way. They're hogging the same space. It's just not clean at the moment.
There's no time to try to polish your game, especially here in the first round of the ACC tournament when you're really trying to up your resume. Asad Umar says that's got to be our ball. It's not. Braden Smith comes in for the Orange, number 31. And wearing 99, number 99 is Burko. He usually wears 19. Burko from Norway was ACC Co-Offensive Player of the Week back at the end of September. Had goals in back-to-back matches against Canisius and Louisville. Also another transfer that came over from Lincoln Memorial University. Wake Forest decides to play chess with the Orange. They will bring in some fresh legs too. Both Thomases will go off along with Julian Kennedy. Bilal, part of this freshman class, is inserted as the lone striker. Smith, well played inside the center. Now Cuse working and scanning. Ponzlet. Now the Orange back with possession and looking for more. Here's Smith. Smith able to at least get that one into the 6, and second best case scenario, it turns into a corner, and that's exactly what happens.
It just looks like Syracuse are very comfortable absorbing pressure and taking advantage of Wake's sloppiness on the counter.
The dreaded set piece. You can see all the Orange nestled there close to the goal line, surrounding Trace Alfin, with two options hanging right outside of the 18. We'll watch them collapse. Now they'll stay put, and that's well played, and Alfin comes up, smacks it.
I don't think he got a touch.
Yeah, I don't think you're right. He didn't look like he had his mitt on, but then again, he did not. Maybe he decided to. Good read.
Yeah, he was a little late on it. It went over his head. That ball is so difficult when it goes just over your head as a goalkeeper. But thankfully for Wake, nobody there at the back post. Syracuse bringing the pressure now.
This is once again that turnover problem. And that defensive third, and that ends perfectly, well, about ended perfectly for the Orange, as Wake Forest just can't get into character.
Yeah, just an immediate turnover in possession. Look how high Syracuse are pressing, and yet Wake Forest still trying to play out of the back. This is a difficult situation for Bobby Muse, because this team's identity is possession buildup, and you do not want to get away from your identity just because the other team does something to try and stop it. But at the same point, if you're not able to build out of the back with how high they're pressing, got to do something to change it up. But that's what Syracuse wants. Syracuse wants Wake Forest to play it long off the goal kick.
Once again inside the 18, looking for goal number 2. Wake Forest holding their breath. No call. They say play on. Is it advantage? White. White using a nice little move and trying to find Bilal. White, so much creativity. He's been so close of seeing a goal himself. And this one gets away from him on the idea to play the square ball to Borso. You wonder if, Kyle, there are some new faces, fresh faces here for, I'll stop and tell me exactly what just happened.
I think Bobby Muse just got a yellow card on the Wake Forest bench. I thought for a moment, because the referee played advantage on that counterattack for Wake Forest. I thought for a moment that he was pulling play back to give a card for that incident that he played advantage on, but I think he showed it to Bobby Muse. So for that, I'm not quite sure what this review would be. Maybe he's looking at that incident, but usually he would show the yellow card first and then go to the monitor to check if that was correct.
You had your hand up. I didn't. I was wondering if, you thought that was a foul as well. Well, it's a play on advantage. Yeah. Well, this stoppage of time as they try to figure things out. Update here. Clemson now leading Louisville. They've scored a couple in a row. It's 3-1. Clemson struck first, then Louisville scored.
All 4 goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half, too. Looks like as we get a review here for a penalty down the other end, seeing if that ball. So, okay, this is a prime example, Ty.
Yep.
Regardless of whether that ball struck the arm of, I believe that's Travis Smith Jr., that's not a penalty. It is literally written in the
book,
rules that a defender using his arm to brace his body on a slide is considered a natural position. So if this is a penalty, it would be exceedingly harsh on Wake Forest, because that is in the laws of the game to say that a defender holding his arm out to brace a natural slide or a fall is considered a natural position.
We had this conversation together before the season started. Yep.
So this has been in use for about 2 or 3 years now, and so this should be a very quick review. Now, I believe they're also now reviewing the foul in transition to see who to give the yellow card to. You can also go to VAR, Ty, for what you would call mistaken identity, but just to figure out who the player on the foul is. I think they're just trying to see the number because they're going to adjudge this to be a yellow card foul.
I think it's Rosenblatt, Rosenblatt who is the one being looked at. Oh, maybe it's Fortier. Fortier was the one that apparently there's the one being looked at.
So now I wonder if they showed. So I wonder if they showed Bobby Muse a yellow card, or if that was just him saying, I'm giving a card, we're not sure who to yet. Right. And then they went to the review to figure it out. So I don't think Bobby got a yellow card, even though it was he showed the card in Bobby's direction. I wonder if that was just the ref acknowledging to Bobby, hey, we are showing a card, I just don't know who to give it to yet.
Well, we apologize, Bobby, for saying that you got a yellow card. So it is Christian Fortier who gets the yellow. Stays at a yellow. When we first thought we were looking at a possible handball, Perez, under 17 to go, and exactly like a Syracuse Wake Forest matchup. Cagey at times, some drama at times, and of course some cards at times. What I was getting to earlier is, Kyle, your thoughts on, because of these fresh faces, but then again Syracuse has it too, are they playing a little too tight if you're Wake Forest? The freshmen and the ones that just came in. But, you know, Syracuse has the same issue. They've got brand new faces too. Maybe on the road is less stressful. I don't know. But, you know, White double teamed, and it will result in a corner.
upcoming for Wake Forest.
This would be a great time for Wake Forest to execute on a corner.
Yeah, it's just not been a strength of theirs this season. You know, the deliveries have been spotty. They've just not been able to get the ball to the player they want at any given moment.
We'll have to do this again. They played the short option to Umar.
Now, of course, Syracuse is going to cover a short player, so they're going to have to do something different.
Perez was coming to, and then it's a lot of this timing too, Kyle. It's way off. Ponza got clipped up from behind. Is it a free kick or is it a throw-in? So Cal in North Carolina, here's an update. They're tied 1-1.
Yeah, North Carolina scored in the 7th minute, and Cal just tied it up in the 64th.
Travis Smith Jr. Another intercepted pass that has been the theme here tonight for Wake Forest. It's just a 1-0 deficit for the home team. You know, Syracuse knows very well they need more than one. That's why they are anxious to get down to this final third. And here's a blast that's right smack down by Trey Southland, right to the hands. Good pace on it, good shot, just right where Trey Southland was. That shot was by Widman there.
Syracuse just able to find the space for shots where Wake Forest isn't right now.
White works well for him as Bilal trying to snipe that low corner. Very difficult angle, but he about did it, Kyle.
That was really, really skillful from Bilal because the ball was bouncing enough that it really could have put him off trying to get the shot off from an extremely tight angle and still somehow managed to evade the goalkeeper. Great shot. That's a tight window to shoot at. Trying to tuck it inside the far post.
Really, the only one kind of making a run to the center as an option was Cooper Flax.
Yeah, and if you're a goalkeeper there, you know, you look at the angle that Thomas Hutt is dealing with. From that space, you're just saying, I'm going to cover my near post, and if you beat me somehow at the far post, I'll just tip my cap and we'll move on.
Fessler's come in. All last season was on the bench due to an injury. And Wake Forest just can't polish their game up here. All out of sorts. And thankfully for them, they're only down 1-0. Good overlap. Looking for the delivery. Well struck. Bawa, the Carolina transfer. Look at that touch. Right inside the 18 and a blast put on, but blocked it away. Rabio, who's in. Number 7. Hoping to spark this Demon Deacon team. Good set of skill there. And a stoppage of the clock here. Another, maybe it's another stern warning.
You know, that's going to be another yellow card that's given to a player when advantage was played.
So that was Bawa, the Carolina transfer, who gets the yellow. Although they just said there was a yellow card for Travis Smith Jr.
Did not look like that. Apologies.
Kruger. White hoping that one would get over the head of Omese. Flax coming too. Cummins put on a clinic in that Virginia Tech matchup earlier this season. And Ponza, Travis Smith Jr. Deacons looking for some life here in this final third. Bilal close to the byline, squirts it out. Oh, Jeffrey White was right there to tap it in.
Incredible save by Thomas Hutt. Unbelievable, his body falling the other direction, able to get his foot to it. Insane save.
Following up on his performance against Pitt, I mean, he was standing on his head against the Panthers.
What a stop by Thomas Hutt. This is a sure goal for Wake Forest right here. Unbelievable, his body moving to the middle to follow the cross. It's really smart by the effort from White to try and put that near post against the grain of where Hutt is moving. And he still manages to get his foot to it. Pure reflexes. That's save of the season type stuff.
The save he had against Pitt was probably one of the best I've seen all season too. As we now tick down to about 10 minutes remaining in the first half. 1-0 Syracuse on top. Trying to get to the second round. The Deeks trying to answer back. Bilal, the freshman, has come on as the focal point, the lone striker. And Ponza hoping to head that one right over the top. And he'll get it back from Travis Smith Jr., who's now pushed himself over to the right side. Kruger gets involved. Jeffrey White. Poked it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Wake Forest wants to go quickly. Travis Smith Jr. ushering it back. And we'll start to recycle with Kruger and Mpanzo working.
The Deeks are trying so hard to make this game a track meet, and Syracuse just will not let it get there. They are controlling the pace of this game right now, is Syracuse, even without the ball. They're managing to keep a lid on the speed of this game. It's a heck of a job by Ian McIntyre.
A good ball, Rabiot. Able to shake defenders. That's just Syracuse soccer right there. Not much room to work. They will disrupt you any way possible. Rabiot thought he had a runway towards the 18. Fessler just able to get it away with Scott right on his back pocket. Borso gets spun down. Excuse me, that's Bilal. Wake Forest with a quick restart. See that line, that shape, the discipline of the line by the orange, Kyle. They are moving up, and then that causes the attack to kind of fizzle out.
Yeah, and that's just all Syracuse cutting off the passing lanes. What I don't understand is Wake Forest just completely wasted that free kick. That is a free kick in a shooting position. And if they want to take it quickly, fine, but it didn't catch Syracuse off guard at all.
Prince Mpanza says, I'm going to use this frustration and at least try a golazo. It definitely had the distance, but just not right on target.
I mean, the end result of that play was a worse shot than what would have been from the free kick. And they, passed it around a ton. I understand Wake Forest is trying very difficult to increase the speed of this game. That suits them. Syracuse just is rebuffing every attempt to move this game along. And, at some point you have to take what Syracuse is giving you, which is a set piece opportunity in a dangerous position. All they did was take the free kick quickly and pass it backwards.
Yep. Syracuse back on the ball. I think the silver lining, though, for Wake Forest with under 7 to go in the first half is you're only trailing by 1. You've allowed 4 shots, and you haven't played nearly the style of soccer that you've been used to playing. White latches on. Cummins. Oh, another great save by Hutt. I mean, the kick save is just the reaction.
That's the best move of the game by Wake Forest so far. Exceptional passing. That's what they've been missing this entire first half. And it's, you know, chances like that, you're going to find one in the back of the net eventually. But that is a sensational save yet again by this Syracuse goalkeeper, Thomas Hutt, who has been fantastic so far.
You could also look at it from Ian McIntyre's perspective, going into the locker room and say, guys, we're lucky we're not down 2-1 because of the sitter that Jeffrey White had, and then that shot.
I understand what you're saying, but it ain't luck. Those are just two really good saves.
Oh, no, not saying anything bad about
saves.
What I'm getting is more of
I know what you mean.
Upset about the defense, allowing them to have that, allowing Wake to have that opportunity. He had the Panthers shook in that last game. I mean, their offense so used to putting together goal after goal after goal, and yeah, he looked like an X-Man on that save on the near post. It was ridiculous. His Flax lifted up his torso. That is always, always the case sometimes when you get a little too over anxious and you want to let it rip. You forget to not pull up on your torso.
Yep. You got to keep your body over the ball, almost to the point where you feel like you're going to fall on your face. It's so difficult and feels almost unnatural.
Flax not shy of letting her rip. You saw third in the ACC with shots per game, almost 3 per game. Wake Forest at the top of the nation in shots per game. Over 18. Right now they sit with 6. It's Cummins having to fight his way. Got past, and Smith was right there. Wake Forest gets it back in the center. And they'll try this left side. Smith keeps it centrally, threaded up to Flax. Flax and a little over-hit ball, maybe intended to hit the flag, but it goes out of bounds. Coach Muse trying to cheer on his team, kind of wake them up. You see, the ideas are there. It's just not connecting, and it's rhythm. But a turnover like that could change things. Rabbio, look how quickly Syracuse gets back. Travis Smith Jr., he's got a ooh, he had a nice spot to let one go. Rabbio can hit it from there. Blocked. The Orange. Pesky and resilient on that back line. And a whistle blown will stop the time. Bring this one back.
Yeah, I think the referee tried to play advantage with Syracuse on the counter. Just wasn't able to do it.
There's him, McIntyre, showing off his skills.
And we saw in the pregame, we saw him playing a little bit beforehand during warm-ups.
Yeah. So I didn't see it, but there he just had to play that one back into play. Still got a nice little touch.
Yeah, Coach McIntyre is such a passionate person. I mean, it's hard to find somebody else who like genuinely loves what he's doing and isn't afraid to show it.
100%. One of the best guys in all of college soccer. A quick look at this side. Judge Wake Forest thought it was their way. It's Syracuse's way. And Omese will throw it in. The thought is, if the Orange can get one more goal and lead 2-0 at halftime, it might break the spirits of Wake Forest. That's why they are going hard into the paint, into the 18.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at one of the updates we had earlier, which was that North Carolina scored 7 minutes into the game against the 11 seed Cal, but Cal just kept it at 1-0, and they ended up scoring in the 64th minute, and guess what? They've just scored again on a penalty in the 78th to go up 2-1 on Carolina.
Under 2 to go here. Here's the Orange with another corner kick. You see that cluster right there as Trey Southman comes and swats it out. But Syracuse right there to claim it again. Hoping to go over the top. Try to stay on side, and unlucky touch there by Smith. 90 seconds remaining in this first half. Risky, very risky there. A long throw to Trey Southman. Trey Southman very good with his feet though. Travis Smith with a theft. Got it from Bawa. Rabio, unlucky off the knee. Just the way the ball has been bouncing, really not in Wake Forest's favor. Rabio was such a feather-like touch, and that ball popped up on him and knocked it off the knee. And Bawa is in some pain. He'll get checked at. He was at Carolina from 2020 to 2023. He made 60 career appearances for the Tar Heels. He had added 10 goals and 3 assists over his 4 seasons. He was actually Gatorade's Player of the Year in the state of Connecticut, your state. That's Ernest Bawa. His main home is, of course, in Porto, Ghana. Hopefully he'll be okay. It was the interaction between him and Travis Smith Jr. that's what caused him to go down.
Take another look at the incident here. Might have taken a little bit of a knock up high. Nothing in that at first. And then just a bit of a push. Looks like he might have gone down awkwardly. I don't really see quite what caused him to be in some pain. Good to see he's up though.
Yeah, good to see he's up. Bawa, one of the many transfers coming over to Syracuse this year. 10 new additions that bring more than 360 games of experience to the Orange this season. So it's start off on a clean slate and try to work in that chemistry. Zambrano almost got away from Cummins. Here's Flax. Flax lays this one up ahead for Bilal. Bilal on a foot race, and it is touched out of bounds last by Layton. And Wake Forest quickly on the restart. Here's 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Fessler trying to curl it around the corner. Good pullback with 16 seconds remaining. Fessler with a theft, and Fessler thought about the long distance shot. And first plate advantage, they'll pull it back. It'll be a free kick.
Well, we'll see what Wake Forest comes up with here, because they've got just 9 seconds left in the half to play this set piece. Fessler. Just a tug there, which should be a yellow card. Usually a shirt pull like that results in a booking. Referees stopped their first attempt to try and catch Syracuse off guard.
Well, Perez, who has distance, I don't know about this distance.
Yeah, this is a bit too far out.
With 9 seconds remaining, clipping it over, just too overcooked, and right, easily played by Tomas Hutt. That's how the first half ends. 8 shots for the Demon Deacons, nothing to show. Syracuse, of course.
And you know, for Syracuse all the way down at 53, they've got some work to do if they want to make the tournament. It just wasn't coming together early in the season. They look like a really polished team now, Ty, and now's when you want to be polished. But those results early in the season do count, and so both teams trying to make up some ground.
That's why soccer is kind of a frustrating sport too. They do not look like a team that's in the RPI of 53. just the eye test tonight in the first 45 in going from the match they did against Pittsburgh. But they lead 1-0. And their first shot gets past Trace Alpha in point-blank range. And now Wake Forest will have to try to play catch-up and chase the game. Kruger. Looks like Paris Mitchell will get the start here for the second half. Rabiot starts here in the second half too. Fessler, he came in the first half. Well, he'll start here for the second 45. Travis Smith Jr. holding that one up. And Aqua thought he may have deflected it off Travis Smith Jr.
Saw the wild, wacky numbers there for Wake Forest skewed to the second half. They have just been really poor in the first half this season all year long. 18 of their 22 goals scored this season coming in the second half. That's just a really awkward skew. Obviously provides some hope of a comeback here, just like they did against Syracuse in the regular season, but certainly something that Bobby Muse will want to fix going into the, if they continue in the postseason and into next year, because you do not want to leave yourself vulnerable like that all year long.
Threadgold already on the attack, plays one right inside the 18 and a turn whip around shot close to the 12. But fortunately for Wake Forest, it's blocked.
Yeah, Travis Smith Jr. got nutmegged on that. That was a beautiful ball into the middle.
Perez having to chase that one down. These are early season errors. The ball played to the corner that Cummins had to hit on the Jets to try to save. It goes out of bounds. The Orange know exactly how crucial a second goal would be as Threadgold hits the brakes. That was well designed, but Wake Forest sniffed it out. Now Wake Forest trying the quick ball played up ahead for Paris Mitchell. Mitchell, he's got Rabiot making a diagonal run, and he couldn't quite reach him.
Yeah, the connection in the attacking third for Wake Forest is just not there. I mean, that ball was the right ball. Like, the idea was correct, but it was way off. It wasn't even close. And it's just been like that this entire game so far for Wake Forest in the attacking third.
Also, you saw how quickly Syracuse got numbers back behind the ball. On a breakaway that they were using Paris Mitchell's speed, and before you knew it, he was surrounded by three great kids. Flax unable to turn. There's Fessler. Kruger set that one down perfectly, and Cummins inserted ball. That was Paris Mitchell trying to play the quick touch to Perez. Thomas goes up and hits the deck. You can definitely tell he's not happy about that.
That is a difficult situation for the official, because on one end, both players have a right to the ball. And just because there's a coming together doesn't mean there's a foul, but it looked like excessive force to get through Colin Thomas and make a play on the ball. Players have a right to the ball, but they also have to respect body position of their opponents.
This season has been difficult for Wake Forest. Of course, having to deal with injuries and so forth, and they get the win against NC State, and they look themselves at on the table, and they're fifth. I think at one point they were third, right? Coach Muse hoping Paris Mitchell, freshman, posed to be their future 9, right?
Yeah.
Will come through for him.
Yeah, he's got a chance here. But so far, Syracuse, you know, I talked at halftime about how the Orange controlled this game, the pace of this game without the ball, right? Like just by their defending. So far, early stage of the second half, they've controlled the game with the ball. And they've rendered Wake Forest to a lot of defending. And they'll have a set piece here with a foul in midfield. Just a 50-50 ball that Paris Mitchell comes in late here. Not a lot of contact, but enough to cause the Syracuse player to fall.
So a free kick for the Orange. They lead 1-0. Their backs against the wall, and with that RPI at 50, they definitely are dangerous for anybody who plays them.
Syracuse also just such an experienced tournament team. Obviously in McIntyre with the national title and an ACC tournament championship under his belt, but the players too, they've got experienced players in there mixed in, and they know what it's like to play in a do-or-die situation.
This might be a card to Paris Mitchell.
Referee has not gone to his pocket yet. Instead, he just stopped play to give Mitchell the warning, as you mentioned, and also to allow the player to recover. And just in case there was a head injury there, since it was on an aerial duel. Yep, referee says no more. Yeah, that's, I mean, he's not even playing the ball. He pulled out of the challenge, so I think it's fair for the official not to give the card there, but definitely a last warning worthy.
Plenty of soccer to be played, but more the same so far, the early goings of the second half. And the woes for Wake Forest.
Yeah, that is certainly the case. However, I will say, if you're Syracuse, you want to get this second goal, because the longer you let Wake Forest hang around, who, as we documented already at the start of this half, are a second half team heavily, you do not want to let the Deeks hang around at home. That's another foul. Deeks have to maintain their composure.
And Kruger pleading with the referee that wasn't a foul. It'll be a free kick. As you see Wake Forest's second half offense. And one of the main keys for Coach Muse with any club he has is protect Spry. Right now, put his team trailing 1-0.
They're going to try and go quick at every opportunity. We saw all first half, they tried to play a track meet. Syracuse wouldn't let him.
Paris Mitchell in the middle. Rabiel will try to play him, and it gets behind him, and it's cleared out quickly. Threadgold came all the way back to play defense to clear that one.
Both times the Deeks have created a big chance in this game, it came off fluid movement in the attacking third. So they're 2 for 2 when they put it together in making a big chance. Otherwise, it's just been all over the place.
Thomas going up against Omese. There's Cummins. Cummins. Once again, Deacons trying the long distance shot with some pace, but it's blocked. Flax. 3 options. Paris Mitchell. Not sure what happened there. Oh, that was a foul on Paris Mitchell. Another attack that fizzles out.
Yeah, just haven't been able to put it together so far.
See the foul count, 9-6. Wake Forest with the more fouls. As Paris Mitchell goes down, and that will be a free kick for Wake Forest. So the first match, Syracuse looked to be the dominant team. It looked like they were kind of just, after that score, like it was going to be easy sailing. And Wake Forest kind of dug deep within and had that one extra boost of adrenaline where they scored 2 goals in 5 minutes. And that's very hard to do on the road against the Orange.
It sure is. And it's been the opposite for Wake Forest tonight. They've had the energy. They've had the adrenaline. They haven't had the precision. They haven't had the skill.
And Wake Forest also trying to beat those outside backs on pure speed, and Syracuse is able to match them. Solid job by Fessler to poke that one. We'll say free kick for Wake Forest.
Once again, ref tried to play advantage and then pulled it back. He's really tried to let them play tonight.
Ball played over the top, try to find Colin Thomas. He keeps it in bounds. Thomas, good delivery. Here's Rabiot. Oh, that was right on a platter. Rabiot just couldn't get his foot on it to have a defender to deal with. Kruger, who is chawing it up.
Yeah, Kruger is really frustrated with how Syracuse has tried to draw fouls. It looked like there was a little bit of contact high, but clearly Kruger felt like it was oversold.
Now Syracuse on the attack. And the delivery, a laser, but a little too far, too close to Trace Alpha, and he's able to make the stop. And another
I think the ref is going to talk to these guys here because he has not forgotten the incident, and he's going to go to his pocket, which I think is a lot. I mean, it's just one shove.
Zambrano and Kruger.
He says no more, so he pulled the yellow card out for dramatic effect. His last chance for Wake Forest here. Just not happening right now. Not falling for the Deeks.
Rosenblatt trying to connect with Zambrano, and Zambrano couldn't hold it in. 32 minutes remaining. The Orange hoping to come away with a victory on the home patch of the Demon Deacons. To redo the favor, Thomas! Oh, Colin Thomas, so sneaky and so clean. Here's Flax. Flax kept it on the floor. He'll get it back.
Beautiful save by Thomas Hutt, who is standing on his head tonight. That is 3 sensational and critical stops in this game.
Travis Smith, Jr. Hit with some venom, but just not close.
Take another look at this. Colin Thomas, like you said, sneaks right through the defender, but he puts his shot a little too close to Thomas Hutt, and he is not going to be beat on an effort like that.
4 saves so far tonight for Hutt. And 3 of those 4 saves probably be worthy for his highlight reel.
No question about it. I mean, the 1 kick save was unbelievable. And the referee has got to gain control of this game, and that's why he's going to the pocket here, because yellow cards, I think, are going to start flying, Ty.
Yeah.
The referee senses that this game is starting to boil over a little bit. I'm not sure who he showed it to.
Yeah, Paris Mitchell looked like
yeah, he was like kind of facing Syracuse players, but Paris was definitely the one who had the foul. He's definitely feeling the fact that there's some frustration on both sides, especially the Wake Forest side. And the yellow cards are going to come out quick and fast here because he's got to keep a lid on the game. I got to be honest, I think a little bit of that has to do with how much was let go in the first half.
Here comes a line change that Coach Muse hopes to spark another great attack that will result in the equalizer. Kennedy back on, as well as Borso. Borso was the player that gave the Orange headaches in that match at their place. Borso back on. Highly recruited, very talented Borso. There's Kruger. And Kruger's not shy of contact. Well, I'll give him that. And Syracuse seems to kind of want to pester the freshman.
Yeah, he's not afraid to back down from a challenge, mental or physical.
There's Perez coming in late, and that's another aggressive whistle that.
And the referee is going to have another talk. I don't know what.
He pointed to VAR now.
This might be another instance where he needs to figure out who committed the foul. But I don't know what he could be looking for here.
He stopped to say something back at Wake Forest's bench, too.
Yeah, the Wake players have got to get their heads about them, because they have a half an hour to sort this game out, and so far through the first 60 minutes, they have not been good enough.
Yeah.
And I understand that the refereeing has been awkward tonight. I think it's been a little inconsistent when you look at how much was let go in the first half and now how much is being whistled here in the second half, which I think is needed at this point given where we're at. But it looks like there might be an incident here on the touchline. That's a choke slam by somebody for Syracuse. It's tough to see, and that is excessive.
Wow.
I could see this being a red card incident, Ty. There is a just completely needless wrestle to the ground. It's hard to see who.
Oh, I think it's Kennedy.
Julian Kennedy backs down somebody, and it's off the ball. You can see right here, arm around the neck of Julian Kennedy, and he's just tossed to the ground like a rag doll.
Yeah, that will explain why Coach Muse was very animated on the sideline.
It's very difficult to see who this was. First, they've got to determine if it's enough for a red card. Then if you're going to do that, you've got to figure out who it was. It's very hard to see because it's so off the ball that it doesn't draw the attention of the cameras.
And clearly,
we're going to see
well, still in the ear of the main ref, John McCloskey. They'll bring over the coaches.
And I think that the fact that this is that was such a short review that there was no attempt to find out who the player was.
Coach Muse is not happy with
that. Has to be
rebuttal from
some kind of.
So they couldn't figure out who the number was, and therefore they could not give a card?
Yeah, we're getting word from the control room that the referee communication was that they could not figure out who the player was. But it looked like they were about to cut to another angle that showed the individual running away from the incident. I don't understand how a review could just be ended because you can't figure out who
the number
the player was.
Well,
if there's a red card incident, there's a red card incident.
That hurts us as broadcasters because that means it's advantageous to have jerseys that can't see the number.
Yeah, we talked about how we complain about that, but it has an effect on the game now. I'm baffled. I mean, it's just a needless aggression on the far side of the pitch that's off the ball with an arm around the neck. That's a clear red card. I don't understand how the game can just be allowed to continue. But here we are. So Wake Forest and Syracuse still 11 on 11. Half hour to go. Tons of time in this game for anything to happen.
Just a one-goal deficit. Wake Forest with 12 shots. Syracuse with 5. Of course, they had 4 going into the break. Here's a corner. Now you wonder maybe if that will kind of ignite Wake Forest a little bit after, watching a choke slam and then nothing coming about of it, and then you've got Bassett Umar gets a yellow card.
Take another look at this. Yeah,
I mean, it goes through the player. That's a foul. Wow. It's been stop and go, Kyle.
I know.
In the second half. I mean, we knew it was going to be cagey, physical, see some cards, but the drama has built to this boiling point here. Now you give Syracuse prime opportunity with a set piece to test Trace Alfin and move ahead 2-0. Looks like Layton's going to take it, and he sent it just a little over the bar. Looks a little deceiving. You thought maybe it tucked underneath, but it did not. Duke leading Virginia Tech. That's in the second half. Colton Pleasant is the goal scorer for Duke. .28.5. The Deacons don't have any plans to fade away in this November night. But the Orange, very aggressive animal at this point, fighting for survival, more than Wake Forest, but the Deacs also need a win. Good turn by Kennedy and wrestling away for it. Good defense. Good turn, but very good defense as well. Put on there by Cutler de Jesus. It's almost unfair, Kyle. Look how great this turn is, and you don't get awarded for it.
Yeah, brilliant move, but good enough defending by Cutler de Jesus, and he's able to shield Kennedy off the ball.
He came over from Marist thread goal. Kennedy trying to wrestle this one away. No such luck. They say play on. Does the flag stay down? It does. Borso calling for it. Borso looking for it. White just, but the tip of his forehead could not get enough torque to get it past Hutt.
Yeah, got the shot on target with the header, which from that angle is extremely difficult, but just didn't have the power or precision to get anywhere past the goalkeeper. You wonder if he had let that go, that there was somebody in a better position to put a shot on frame.
Qua will watch that one ride out for a throw-in for the Orange. So Duke leading Virginia Tech. Syracuse leading the Demon Deacons. Winner will play the winner of SMU in Boston College. Umar. Remember last year's match here at Spry ended in a 1-1 draw. Wake Forest also had to come back from behind. A little touch up ahead, Paris Mitchell. Oh, and just couldn't work it to Kennedy. It's just that last touch of the ball. Good slide tackle, textbook slide tackling by Jose Perez. Umar fighting for it. Plenty of time left.
Yeah, the momentum in this game is starting to feel like it's shifting a little bit. Wake Forest maintaining control in the attacking half a little bit more than they had, not allowing Syracuse to get on the ball and building forward well. You see that clearance is just safety first from Syracuse. That's what happens when a team starts to feel like they're under a little more pressure.
Borso really trying to break out of this phone booth to put on his cape like he did in the matchup at the end of September. Travis Smith Jr. had that ball stuck and then to stretch out for it. Travis Smith, the play advantage up ahead. Flax, he's saying he got clipped in the back, which caused him to kind of hesitate towards that ball. Maybe we'll get a chance to look at it, but right now we've got Aqua down. And they're calling for an athletic trainer.
Yeah, he's taken a couple of lumps tonight.
Michael Aqua, who did not play against Pitt, but had a game winner against Albany. He also came over from Lindsey Wilson College.
The referee has the yellow card in his hand.
He said something to Leighton there.
Yeah, I think this is a situation where referees will often wait for a player to receive treatment before showing the yellow card because, A, they need the player to know that they've been booked, so they have to see that they've been carded, but it's also kind of a respect thing. If you're receiving treatment for an injury, it's just a weird look to give them a yellow card when they're on the turf. If it was to a Wake player, he would have done it by now.
Well, the Deacs are holding the Orange below their average of shots per game. They hit about 14. They're sitting at 6 right now. Wake Forest with 13 to this point. But Syracuse with a variety of different goal scorers this year.
Fourth official is getting an earful from both coaches all game tonight. It has been a physical battle, and this has been a difficult one to referee. Yeah, so he gets the yellow card here and shown once he gets to his feet.
So here's a replay of how that was the yellow card.
Yeah, that's a late tackle. And it looks like he may have gotten bumped by the back of the feet at the end of it.
And I want to see the whole play as it involves here.
That's definitely a yellow card tackle.
Flax was kind of protesting that he kind of got clipped in the heel too, which stopped his progress to get that ball. Aqua taking his time with the yellow card. It says a lot, though, how a talent like Michael Aqua comes over from, you know, a school like what she came over from, Lindsey Wilson College. I know it's a prime D3, D2 school, but yeah, for them to jump right into ACC play says a lot.
Absolutely, that's a big jump, no matter what.
Carolina transfer coming in. I tell you, Nicole Green on there, the alternate official she has been busy, kind of playing the police, or policing the two coaches, getting an earful from both of them. It's the Wolfpack coming up with a goal against Virginia. First half. Kruger lets it go. Deacon's trying to play long ball, which doesn't work out in that case. Flax able to interject himself there and cause a turnover, and now both players get caught up on their shoelaces. Both go down. Referee says play on. Awa try to reach Zambrano. Now Flax scanning. Jeffrey White. Stuck alone there on an island. They did have Bo Cummins as a support outlet, but
really strong defending too by Syracuse.
That was Jeffrey White going 1v1, and next thing you know, he's got another one. And
yep,
the odds are against you.
Chimere Omasei over there has just been a brick wall. Syracuse has completely shut off the flanks for Wake Forest and has forced the Deacs to try and build through the middle. And they are best using their speed out wide, and it has just not been there for Wake Forest tonight. Syracuse took away what they do best so far.
There's Travis Smith Jr. Once again, he tried to cut that one back. This time, it is pushed out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick. I wonder if Wake Forest can execute on this corner. It would be huge. It would make it back to level terms with plenty of soccer to be played. Flax of the golden foot. Let's see how it will shine here. Trying to go near stick. Maybe that was intended for Kruger on that run there. It was read well, of course, by Syracuse. Kennedy. Fans saying it's handball. Umar. Kruger. Now here's Cummins. The fans still yelling for a handball.
The fans wanted it. Didn't see a ton of protests from the players. And now the ref's going to look at it. So let's get another look at what happened. Clearly there was enough in it that the referee immediately wants to review this.
In EPL fashion, Kyle.
So,
first of all, the wrestling.
Yep. Just don't know if there's enough in that. It's hard to see. That's Sam Layton on the ground trying to fight. Again, we talked about this before. If your arm is used to support your body, it is not a handball. The question is, does his other arm come over the top and touch the ball? Because if that happens, then that is a penalty. So if it touches his left arm here while it's supporting his body, that's not a handball. He's using it to keep his body up. That's a natural position.
But he's got his right arm wrapped around Kennedy as a tackle.
So that's not a handball. It does clearly strike his arm. But by rule, it is not. It's considered a natural position, which nullifies the situation. The quirk here that I wonder if the referee considers is he does pick his arm up at one point in the middle of this to reposition it. In my mind, that's still being used as a fulcrum or as a support. So that's not, to me, really changing anything, but I'm interested to see how the referee views this. And also,
is it not a foul before that, though?
Well, yes, it could also be a foul. It doesn't really drag Julian Kennedy down or hinder his movement at all.
Right.
So to me, I don't see enough in that. The other thing here is once the defender does go to ground, now your arm is just an arm. It's not a support anymore. So there's a lot for the referee to consider here.
Looks like this might, let's see.
Yeah, see, he makes the indication that the defender lifts his arm up off the ground. It's no longer a support for a split second. You could see the referee show his arm. I think that's really harsh. I think that's really harsh.
I agree with you, Kyle. I thought first off that it was a foul, but going by the rule,
there's just not a lot of hindered movement for Kennedy to be considered a foul. I think his arm is a support. We're being told that there was maybe a reach for the ball.
So Flax, who sits 12 yards staring eyeball to eyeball with Thomas Hutt, who's been outstanding. Flax wearing the captain armband, hoping to get this to level terms. He's been sensational all year long. Bang! Ice in his veins. Cooper Flax strikes again, and the Deacons are level.
Wake Forest has had to gut this one out so far. It's not been their best day, and they've missed some opportunities, but they're not going to miss this one. Cooper Flax stepping up and burying it. Wake Forest has to take what's given to them, and they have done just that. We're level.
5th goal of the season for Cooper Flax. He got the game winner against Virginia Tech. And he just goes just a little to the right, and Hutt guessed the opposite direction.
Well done by Cooper Flax to disguise his body movement. The goalkeeper's going to be watching his hips that whole time, and Cooper didn't make it clear which direction he was going to go by either opening or closing his hips. Kept them straight for as long as possible, and that forced the goalkeeper to guess.
Yeah, one of those things in chess match, too, when you're on PK, is you're either checking to see if the keeper is looking at your eyes or your hips, and then you start playing games with it. As Threadgold gets a yellow card for dissent.
Clearly unhappy with that decision.
And we thought that was harsh. But it makes it more dramatic.
It goes both ways, too. You know, we thought that maybe there could have been a more effort put into the red card decision, the potential red card. It's been a tight one, both directions.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, but the slam that they couldn't figure out the number. But here we are, 1-1. And both teams really going full force.
Yeah, and we're back where we started, you know, at the beginning of this one. Nobody's got an advantage, and neither team is going to want to send this to penalties, because on one side you've got Trace Alfin, who has been fantastic in penalties all year, and then on the other side you've got Thomas Hutt, who stood on his head today. So there is still 19 and change to play in this game, which is an eternity to decide who advances.
The second half has gone by very slow, with some aggressive whistles and stoppage of time. Cuse, they did not want to give Wake Forest just a glimmer of hope. And with that PK obviously iffy on the call, Flax executes, and Cuse, which had a lead all the way to this point, see themselves tied.
And if you're the referee, every foul from here on out, not only are you going to get a contest from the whistled party, but you're going to get a contest from the individual fouled too, looking for a yellow card. That's just the way the rest of this game is going to play out. I do not envy the position he's in right now.
Bawa going up against a three-man wall. Lee whip it in. Well read. I believe that was Travis Smith Jr. that headed it out of safety, or headed out of danger into safety. Oh, nice threaded ball by Flax. Umar has White. Cummins now also involved in the attack. Sliding it over. Umar at a look. Finds Kennedy. Kennedy wide with some space, and he sent it over the bar. Oh, Kennedy. He wants that one back.
Yep, that has to be on target. Beautiful build-up. Just exceptional passing, exceptional vision. The ball across to Bassett Umar was you just, I'll tell you, I never saw the opening there, but the Wake players did. Threaded it in perfectly and just could not get the finish.
And this goes with the psyche, too. Kennedy, frustrated, he hasn't gotten a goal this season, right? And that gets to your head. It just spins in the back of your mind. Like, I'm a goal scorer. Why haven't I scored?
Yeah.
And you kind of have to block it out, and it's easier said than done.
And the way that Thomas Hutt has played tonight, too, sometimes you feel like you've just got to place the ball perfectly in order to get it by a goalkeeper who's in that kind of form. And you forget, hey, if I just get this on target, either we'll get a rebound, we'll get a corner, something. You know, a deflection, whatever it might be. The XG, post-shot XG of a shot off target tie is 0.0.
Well, if you want to be on one side to be in this situation, you would probably side with the home team, because you just leveled it up. You've got your home pitch here. But
100%, the momentum is probably with Wake Forest right now.
And you can tell right away, Syracuse knows that, and they are trying their very best to stop that momentum quickly, whether it's, you know, cutting out a play, cutting out a pass, getting a little extra physical. Borso, who's been a menace to Syracuse, now with it on it. He can hit it from there, and it's deflected. Borso able to latch back on it, and a diagonal ball played way up high. That is sent out of bounds.
That ball looked like it was overcooked off his foot. I think he was trying to find Bassett Umar on the switch to the far corner of the penalty area. If so, brilliant delivery.
Clever by Kennedy. Bassett Umar. You see that angle immediately collapse. That's a corner, even though Syracuse claiming that Umar touched it last. So Umar will walk over to the far flag with 15 and change remaining in regulation here in this first round matchup. Flax, who scored on the PK to make it 1-1. Well, once again, be behind this ball for a corner. Looking for that knockout blow. This will be an outswinger, but played on the ground. Borso back to White. White drilling it. Had a lot of pace, put it on the sweet spot. This is clipped over. Flag, does it stay down? Off a deflection, and the flag then goes up. So maybe Travis Smith Jr. was in an offside position. If so, kudos to that side judge for seeing that. That's very difficult. Remember we talked about that?
That
I don't know about that.
Tight.
Yeah. Because originally, if they would say if he started on an offside position, the ball was then settled possession, he gets behind, then lobbed over. But the line judge, that's a very difficult call to call anyway, so you got to have 7 eyeballs.
Speaking of offside, Burko knew he was offside there. Had to come back, which is why he didn't make a play on the ball.
But you get the feeling that Wake Forest feels that they can do as they will into that final third. Is, of course, the same thing that's been the common theme all year is finding that final ball. They've been able to work it in here, get some touches inside the box. They feel like they can do that freely. Oh, good creativity by Borso. Cummins! Oh, that was White. White has been cursed this season. He's had so many good looks right in front of frame. And whether it's the luck of the roll or the bad luck of the roll, he just can't take the lid off the goal.
And this is the Deeks attack that had been missing for the first 70 minutes of this game. Gorgeous back heel to thread Cummins in, and Jeffrey White tried to redirect the ball. That's not really what you would think of, in a typical shot. He's just trying to basically angle his foot so that the ball ends up in the back of the net, just didn't get the angle right.
That's one of those shots or touches that you felt like for sure that went in, and then to find out that didn't, and you just kind of have to pinch yourself. What am I missing here? This ball's played well. The karate-style kick by Bo Cummins. Now here's Borso. Watch him cook. The obstruction not called. He does a swim move, says, let's continue. Kennedy's there. Did not quite reach him on a straight path. Bassett Umar gets thrown down to the ground. Contact and a free kick.
Yep, Cutler de Jesus just threw his shoulder into Bassett Umar. It wasn't enough for him to pull the yellow card out. He's trying to make a play on the ball, but used his body to just push Umar right off the ball. That ball from Borso almost created a goal. If he had played that a half second earlier, yeah, you can't use your body like that. I said it before. You have a right to the ball, but you also have to respect the body position of the opponent. And clearly a foul.
Yeah, you can't go through the player to get to the ball. All right, so partner, here we go. Guess who's behind it? Perez, pick your poison.
This could be a wild last 11 minutes, Ty.
Perez, who's been a sniper, and Flax, who put on some heroics on that beautifully played ball against Virginia. Perez unable to get it over the top. That's got to hurt, though. I don't know what kind of strike Perez has.
If you're going to get thwarted by the wall, at least make them pay for it, right? Yeah, you're going to earn this block.
So Flax trots over to the flag for yet another corner. Deacons with 7 corners tonight.
Yeah, and 20 shots to Syracuse's 6.
Flax skies it high, whipping outward. And Ampanza smiles at the referee. He's going to call an infraction on him as he collided. Looks like he collided with Chafamba. No, he collided with Omese. So here we are, 10 minutes, now under 10 minutes here in round number 1. Both teams desperate. Would love a win in the ACC tournament first round to put on the resume. Wake Forest hoping to sweep Syracuse this year. Probing ball. Bassett Umar. Yep.
That's excellently done by Bassett Umar, who looked like the ball got stuck at his feet, but he managed, and he had a heavy touch too, but he managed to get to the ball first still and put himself in position to win that foul.
And Leighton, who gets the yellow card. Similar to like a pick basketball, just standing, waiting. Put your back.
The ball just gets stuck at his feet and sort of bobbles around. There was a heavy touch there, but then it goes right through the legs of Leighton. If Leighton had managed to grab possession there, it's not a foul. But he gets done by the ball through his legs, and Umar gets the benefit of the whistle.
So yet another set piece. Flax has his head up looking. Clipped. Won't get over. Syracuse may try to quickly counter. Cummins, brilliant work.
And he has a yell on the sidelines with his team. That is a big tackle, not only to dispossess the ball, but also win a throw.
Coach Muse into this ball game as he has been all year. Mirroring Jurgen Klopp style. Rooting his team on. Perez fighting as well. Travis Smith Jr., Borso right at the touchline. He loves this, 1v1. Escapes, and then a slide tackle from behind. That very well could be the infamous. Let's see what he does. A yellow. That was on Rosenblatt.
I'll be honest, Ty. I thought he got the ball first up, and you know, these are tough because they're scissor tackles, and you've got to be accurate with them. First one he did. Yeah, missed it. Went over the top. Good call by the official. Eight yellow cards now in this game. I believe there were 6 or 7 in the first meeting between these two teams.
Borso has his hand up, and he is stalking over here on this left channel. Cooper Flax, one touch, Kennedy sees Borso. Borso, can he cook this one up? Borso, close to the byline. Clever scoop, clever goal! It's Travis Smith Jr., and that very well could be the dagger.
After an entire match where the Wake Forest Demon Deacons have struggled, have gritted it out, they draw level, and now a moment of brilliance from Dylan Borso, who was defended well near that end line, somehow managed to position his body to where he could just flick the ball over the defenders. And then how about Travis Smith Jr., who contorts his body backwards away from goal and manages not only to get the precision on his header, but also the power and bury it in the top right corner. It's been a struggle for the Deeks tonight, but that is sensational.
And that is ad-libbing by Borso. Look at this.
That's
tough
really
angle,
good.
And then the scoop.
Yeah, it's really good defending by Cutler de Jesus, who nearly dispossesses Borso a couple of times. He gets a touch right there, and just,
it's brilliant.
It's gorgeous. The left-footed chip, creativity out of nothing. Wonderfully
Poise
done.
by Borso has been probably the most impressive part about his game. He was highly recruited. Of course, you know, he comes with a little bit of an ego, but man, the guy is calm, cool as a cucumber. And in that situation, he figures it out. I'm just going to scoop this, lay it up in the air, and have somebody come on. Seven and a half. Now you wonder if there's any more dramatics left in this match, Kyle.
Yeah, don't count Syracuse out. They have punched back not only all game but all season. You know, it's been tough for Coach McIntyre because they've been the victims of some comebacks like this, but we know the grit and the moxie that they possess too.
Bawa, so creative too. So we'll get another look at the goal, but it'll be a corner though for the Orange.
The ref is very cognizant of the clock now. He's going to stop it just to keep any shenanigans from happening on either side.
Now watch how the Orange work their chaos in the box, Kyle. It's this time they're bunched a little over there on the corner of the 6th. They usually bunch right there in the goal line area. But watch this kind of a shotgun strategy. See how they quickly disperse. That is what I told you at the beginning of the season, controlled chaos.
And all Travis Smith Jr. could do there was put it out of play again for another corner.
So the Deacons now clutching on to a 1-goal lead. Coming back from behind, the dreaded corner kick that rolls, and Prince Impanza does a smart thing and sends it out for a throw-in rather than a corner.
6 minutes, Ty, is a long time to absorb constant pressure. As we take another look at the goal. Excellent cut by Borso. You mentioned that he was prowling along the left flank there, manages to make the run. And I mean, just that header is of the highest degree of difficulty, with your body moving in the air back away from goal, trying to get underneath the ball and get your forehead on it.
Syracuse once again hunting, not at all done. If Coach McIntyre is the coach, hey, if you got any seconds on the clock, they're dangerous.
And I loved what Coach McIntyre told us before this game. I asked him, what's his message to the team, you know, knowing what could be on the line tonight? And he said,
ooh, right over the head. Alpha, maybe, I think he might have got distracted with Amani, hoping that he might want to slam into him.
Coach McIntyre said, regardless of the result, at the end, I'm going to hug my players. He said there's tears in football.
Breakaway, flag down, and Hunt still stands on his head. You just can't make this up.
Unbelievable. Thomas Hutt has been incredible for Syracuse all evening. I'm shocked the flag stayed down, but Bassett Umar with the left foot just right into the goalkeeper, who makes himself big and closes down the angle.
Well, he's pretty big, too. I mean, what is he, 6'3"? Yeah, 6'3". That's
well, Ty, 6 saves tonight for Thomas Hutt. At least 4 of them highlight reel worthy.
Absolutely.
And that ties his career high, or season high, which you'd be shocked to learn that he set against Wake Forest earlier in the year. And this could be problematic for the Deeks, as Dylan Borso is down and has asked for a substitution. Hopefully it's just a cramp. It looks like that's what Prince Impanza is trying to work out right now. But I think Borso knows, regardless of what this is, if he is not 100% for these final 4:49, he wants a teammate on the pitch, which is smart. I just want to go back to, you know, the thing I wanted to wrap up about Coach McIntyre. He said, there are tears in this game, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how your season ends. One team at the end of the season will finish with tears of joy. everybody else has their hearts ripped out. And so he said, regardless of how this one ends, I'm going to hug my team, and I'm going to be proud of them. And I just think that is such a wonderful way to coach, because he's already seen this team through the entire season and knows the effort that they give every time out. The effort's not a question. The heart isn't a question. The desire isn't a question. So he already knows before the game kicks off, I'm going to hug them if they win, and I'm going to hug them if they lose.
He's a class act. Actually walked into the match tonight with him, chatting it up, and just still delightful. He said hello to all the staff working here. You know, it just says a lot about him. Coach Muse also class act too. Very gracious to allow us to go to training, chat with him just about soccer in general. Nicky Mancia comes in as White goes out. Travis Smith Jr., Kyle, you remember this. When we went down to Davidson just to kind of watch the preseason match, he scored off a set piece by Cooper Flax. A header, not on the near side, but on the far side, got up and banged it through. And obviously that was his first goal of the regulars, or the season rather than the preseason, but what a time it could come for is right now when the Deacons desperately need it.
It's as clutch as they come, but they've still got 4.5 to see out this game, and they are going to take their time, and I'm sure the referee will be aware of that as well.
Amadi Thomas trying to lob it over. Flax, whatever he saw on that ball, he liked it. Flax tied it up with a PK. And Travis Smith Jr. gives Wake Forest a lead on a lofted ball by Borso. Final Duke blanks Virginia Tech 2-0. Duke number 2 in the nation, but number 3 in the ACC. Says it all. Mancia. Oh, what a hop. (2-1). 3.5 to go. Ball pinged around, and this, just how fortunate Wake Forest is on a pinged ball. That Wake Forest is fortunate that didn't ping into the back of the net.
Yeah, these are the ones that if you're at Wake Forest, you sort of breathe a sigh of relief after that, because there were about 6 different players in gray who could have potentially put that in the back of the net.
Mancia. Fresh legs, and he's going to use it. Bassett Umar with a heck of a tackle over there. Bilal. And a wrestling contest right there in the corner. 2:15 remaining in this first round. Right now, Wake Forest primed to advance to the second round, but Syracuse still has some time left. Amadi Thomas, left foot. Oh, boy, I tell you, Hutt is thankful to the soccer gods that was deflected off his teammate.
Yeah,
but he was in the right area.
Yeah, well, Sam Layton also very easily could have put that in the back of his own net. It goes off his right knee on the slide. Whenever you're moving towards your own goal and put it out of play on a slide like that, it is dangerous.
Look how many corner kicks Wake Forest has had. 9. Try to bleed the clock right here at the corner. Does not go as planned. It results in a goal kick. Now we're down to seconds here, Kyle. 50 seconds remaining. The Orange went into the locker room with a goal off of 4 shots. Only 3 shots here in this second half. But still posing a threat. Anytime they get that ball close to that 18. Scott is their one last trip. Mencia chasing this one down.
Deke's like a basketball team at the end of the game right now when a coach says, don't foul, right? Just don't foul because you don't want the clock to stop and give a set piece.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, Wake Forest does it. They sweep Syracuse this season. They move their record to 3-0-0 in the ACC tournament first.